Hello fiber friends and polycrafters. This is MattiMakes and I'm Crystal, your host, and this is vlog number 3. Now, sadly, it's been over 3 weeks since I filmed one of these and a lot has happened. We had a family vacay. I went to a friend's farm and helped shear around 5 alpaca or llama. She has a herd and they're kind of mixed breeding because she's trying to get some Surrey llamas, which is kind of fun. And I'll pop in a short vid of filming the actual animals before we sheared them. They were a little crazy looking. She shears every 2 years, and one of the ones we've worked on, which I have the fleece upstairs, it's been 3 years since she's been sheared, and they've been rolling in whatever they could find. Those poor things. But they're happy out there. So that's the main part, is they're happy, they're well cared for. They just, with COVID, she didn't get the help she needed to shear them. So that's what we're doing this year. Myself, her granddaughter, and her daughter, just the 4 of us ladies are shearing them. But it's working out pretty good. And I'm getting such an education on how to physically hold the animals and shear them, and llamas are huge, but it was fun, to say the least. So now we'll go into what I have finished, works in progress, and acquisitions, because I did do an order from Darn Good Yarn, and that's sitting here. So finished, the dragons. And I did his body style a little different. And this is where I changed the pattern and didn't have that line going down his back. It might be better with the line going down his back because you can line up the little scales, you know, those little spikes. Pretty good if you have that line going down his back. So I'm not sure I'd stick with not doing those change ups because you really can't tell where the line is, even though I lined up his scales pretty good. Spikes, the wings. I know this guy just looks chunky. I don't know, he's cute. Those are fun. And that was, find the right label for it. It was these guys, Red Heart, and I'll post the link below on their pattern, which is a free pattern, so you can pretty much use whatever yarn you want, but these yarn cakes are so cute. I'm gonna show you a yarn cake. They're on the other side of the room. When I bought these, I picked up several of them. This is how they come. This one makes the little owls, and it's the 3 levels, and they're just put together. So once you pull one off, they're not even, well, they're kind of tied together, so you will want to cut them apart. So they have the textured yarn on this one. And as you use it, you want to basically roll balls off of each color to make it easier to use, because trying to do anything but the purple off of this one is going to be problematic. So, and it says it's a number 1. But like I said before, it's heavier. It is at least a 2. But with crochet, you know, you can use whatever you want as long as it's all basically the same gauge, and all the patterns are free. So download away. That being said, top I've been working on from Cinnamon Stitches and Jennifer's Pattern Not Pattern. Watch your tutorial. I'll try to link that below. Oh no, I can't get far enough away. Here. Back up camera. Okay. I've got the bright pink at the bottom. I ripped it out twice because I tried to do decreases along the side, but the decreases wanted to spin in, which didn't make the shirt hang nice. So I ripped all the decreases out and just went basic pattern. And this took the whole ball, other than this is the remnants. This is all that is left from this cake It's a Wrap, which I got at Michael's on clearance for $3. So, not sure they're still in the stores now. I picked them up in June. And like I said, it's now just the beginning of August. But you can do a whole shirt, just a little bit left, and it is long enough to cover my bum, which is really nice when I'm wearing just leggings. These are really heavy leggings. But I knocked the pad off my stool. But I like the way it hangs. I have another shirt under it. But this would be great as a top over a swimsuit. Just a light little cover up, because you can see the peekaboos through it. Or just throw another tank top under it. Whatever makes you happy. But I liked using the number 1 weight yarn. And Jennifer uses a 3. Either way, it's good. I think I'm going to do another one with a 2 and try to do something a little different here, because I want a straight sleeve and not the curve. But it's cute this way. But I don't need tons of shirts with this exact lineup. Okay, moving on to acquisitions. The 3 sheep's fleeces are all washed. Hey, it took me a second, but I got the video turned around, and here are those 3 sheep's fleeces. In the black bag, we have the mixed breed long wool that started out around 11 pounds. In the paisley bag is also a mixed breed long wool, and that started out almost about 10 pounds. And in the purple bag here, we have a Willamette Blackface Chevault blend, and that's a pretty fine yarn, or pretty fine wool. Should make a pretty fine yarn. And that started out around 6 pounds. I'm going to attach the video below in the comments on how I sorted the fleeces and the poundage. Like at the end of that video, it's like how the poundage like broke down to what it started out as being just off the sheep, not skirted at all, to what it was like skirted and washed. You can see the big drop in that. And then I did a separate video on how to skirt out and get ready for washing with this fleece here, the Willamette Blackface, because it just came out in pieces. And I'm like, well, this might happen to a lot of people. So I did a separate video on that. Or maybe you just don't have space to put out a full fleece. Like, I'm blessed having the huge decks that I have. So check out those. I'll post them below. And now we'll get back to the desk. Like I said, Polycrafter, there's a lot of stuff back there. There's fabric, there's yarn, there's jewelry making supplies, and there's a bunch of fabric on the other side, and all the wool's on the other side. But let's get on with more acquisitions. I ran into Hobby Lobby to see what was left. And this is our store down in Albany. And 2 more things. This will make great sock yarn. It's just the lemon yellow. Hell, this is for lemon. This is the 50% merino, 30% nylon, 20% acrylic, number 1 fine. Yellow socks. They'll be cute. Or use it for just the cuffs and the toes. Or cuffs, heels and toes, and do something else. That. Also back on the wall, I saw this huge roll of brown quilters cotton, and I was looking at going, there's a lot of yardage there. No, there's just 1 yard here. It's actually 35 inches, but it's 108 inches wide, so this will be a great backing. And if you saw the blue quilts up here from last video, this will make a great backing for that blue quilt. And we gotta get that done because my mother's birthday's next month, and that would be a great thing for that. Move all this other stuff out of the way. Darn Good Yarn. I really like Darn Good Yarn, mostly for the skirts, but they had a really good deal on 100% merino braids. This is a 4-ounce braid, and I got it for $10 for 4 ounces. So 100% merino. And I like spinning this just as is. It's a little bit grippy. You really have to, because it's been so compact. I think it's been packed for a while. Smells like cleanser or cleaners. But what I want to do is mix it with some of the Tina alpaca, which is washing on the other side of the room. This is a 4-ounce braid. I'm gonna mix it with probably a pound of the white alpaca. Maybe do a test first, but if I do mix this whole braid with a pound of the alpaca, it'll be a 20% wool to 80% alpaca blend. It'll pull up some of these colors, but without it being color. And then if I want to over dye it with some blues or aquas, I can do that afterwards. But the wool will give it the stability to do hats and structured garments. And I'm gonna really, because I picked up the alpaca and my sister's like, I want a hat. I'm like, well, if you need a hat, we need to put some wool in it. If I was doing a scarf or something, that a shawl, something that could drape, it'd be great, 100% alpaca. But we're doing hats, we gotta blend it. So since they're $10 each, I've got 4 of them in here, and there's 2 different colorways. So there's another one, colorway I just showed you. And there's 2 of the other colorway, and I'll put the descriptions more below. I don't remember what these were called, and they're packed saying they're undyed. So I really like the name on them. This is more, has some more greens in it. And since there's over 4 pounds of the alpaca, I can blend a pound with this colorway and a pound with this colorway. And that'll still leave me 2 pounds left, or over 2 pounds left. And I can over dye, geez, I can almost over dye that with purples too, because purples would be pretty with the greens and that blues that are in there. I think this is like mermaid or something. Anyway, I'll pop that in the description below. And then, for all you quilters out there, this was a really cool package deal. And when I ordered it, it came with a, should have come with a free, we'll find out. I haven't opened this all the way yet. Come with a free sewing kit. So this is their fat quarter bundle kits. I'm gonna grab a pair of scissors that aren't meant to cut fabric. Blue handles don't cut fabric. In my house anyway. Orange handled ones do, and the silver ones do. Right. Everyone has different fabric scissor rules in their house. Those are my paper scissors for cutting paper beads, which that's gonna be another video, right? I have to do paper beads because they're all over the place. But back to this. Oh, it's a clear top. I'm good. I'm like, where's the top? This is a bin that you can store your fat quarters in. And my fat quarters are like just sitting on a shelf over there. So I figured anything that's about that size, I can put in a little bin. It says darn good yarn on it. And then if I go on retreat, it just picks up and carries with you. And the inside has little Velcro spots, so you can move the little dividers. They're just put on the sides for now, but you can actually move them so they're making little channels. But that's a horrible noise. Oh my goodness. And let's open this. I haven't opened this yet. I'm so excited. So let me scoot this back down. Can you see that? Almost. Awesome. Okay. You can see how I built my ironing board. Yeah, your bins, just put them right under the iron board. Makes a table. Gets the bins out of the other room. Hopefully makes your other half happier that you don't have stuff all over the place. Okay, cut it open. You can see this. You can see this. You can see my Love the old sewing machine. Okay. DK weight herbal dyed yarn sample pack. Don't know why I need that in fabric, but it's there. We'll use it. Okay. And there's one bundle. Warm tones, 2 bundle. Reds and pinks. 3rd bundle. More of those warm tones. Okay. Second bundle. This is almost jewel tones. Pinks. So, okay. 4, 5 in purples. 6 aquas. 7 golds. I might give this pack to Eagle Charter School. This is their school color. And the last one right here, aquas and greens. So I guess if we could do a rainbow, we could do pretty decent normal rainbow. And no sewing kit. Well, they're going to get an email, aren't they? Okay. But fabric books. Let's see what's in these little books. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 little books. They're all different colors. These are just fabric. 6, 7, 8 little fabric things. I wonder if they're supposed to be color coordinated. Anyway, fabric of the month. Oh, yeah, I guess so. This is the, I have no idea. I don't see one that's supposed to have green in it. Maybe this one? Maybe this one? That looks a little greeny. And the orange, how the quilt pattern works. So I guess if you put it all together, you wind up with that. That could work. I don't know. Contrast is a little odd to me. Pinks, how cutting instructions. How to put it together. And then the written instructions. All right. So once we get these all together, it's a whole quilt. That could work. Pretty coarse fabric. You can actually see the weave. See the weave. Yeah. The ribbon's made out of the same stuff. Then I can reuse the ribbons to tie bats. They're all same thing. Yeah. They're pretty much different little different, but shows you this color. Some of the middle pieces are the same. It shows you the color of the month. So these match up somehow with these backs, and you can make a quilt. But the sewing kit that was supposed to be in there is not in there. So I will email them and hopefully they'll just mail it out to me. They're normally pretty good about if they're missing things. So that's that. That's not a sewing kit. And is that all I've been doing? The queen is still a work in progress. She's over there. Oh, my son's going to J Gems next year, which is in Jane Goodall Middle School. And they do a lot of camping and hiking. And he has ADHD and he's on the autism spectrum. So I'm like, he'll see something and just kind of veer off. I lost him in corn mazes. It's pretty freaky because he was only 4 when I lost him in the corn maze. It only took us 20 minutes to find him, but it was like the longest 20 minutes ever. So I'm making him a red hat and scarf set so you can more easily see him in the woods, so they can spot him. Hopefully he stays on the path and you can spot him better. So he gets this, and he'll get a cell phone so he can call and say, I don't know where I am. and we can find him that way too. So at least he's really good with tech. He's super smart, really good with tech, really good with math. And if you give him instructions on how to get out, he can follow instructions and be completely straight line on how these instructions are supposed to work. But he was super excited about getting a hat, and he chose the red. I'm like, you need a bright color so we can find you. And this is the recycled polyester that I also picked up at Michael's on clearance. I think it was like $2.40 a ball. And I did the blue. If you look back on the other vlogs, I did the blue for Hat Not Hate. Those are all mailed off. That is something I did. I mailed it off. They should have received it. I need to check the She Show to make sure they actually got it. But this one ball will make 3 hats and have some left over. So I have no problem getting a hat for 11-year-old and a scarf out of one ball. So if you're looking for some very cost economic knitting or crocheting, but crochet out of it, no big deal. It's a good 4 or 5. It's a heavy chunky yarn, but it's so super soft. Here. It's like a 4 or 5. Ignore the nails. They looked great before I went to go shear alpaca, and then I had to do some repairs on them. So it's like it's probably a 5. But so super soft. And he loved it against his skin, so we have some problems about textures. So good fun there. I think that's everything. Check out the wool videos if you want to see the processing of those. And I will do a video on the alpaca fleece I have upstairs. But it's really, really filthy. They were rolling in whatever was in their stall. Because, you know, that's what they do, and they don't. She scraped it down and put in some man-made sand, but it's been a while, so that needs to happen again. But she's running this whole place, and she's in her 70s, so cut the woman slack. She takes really good care of the animals. She needs more physical help on getting out there and taking care of the bigger, heavier things. But they're so happy out there. They really are. And she just walks up and talks to them, and you can walk up and pet them, and they're just the sweetest animals. I will cut some of that film in so you can see one of them running around. It's actually the llama getting blown out yesterday, and JJ, which is the first one we sheared, and his fleece actually went to, for 4-H, went to the local fair, and is good enough that it's going to state now. So that was awesome. So I'll cut those in. Thank you, fiber friends. Hopefully I'll do one next week. Bye. Here's a Surrey alpaca that we're going to shear today. And he's just running off some steam right now. Of course, the goat's not up.